right. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the day may find you. I want to wish you a warm one. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. We're going to have an awesome day. It is the first of the month, March 1st. If you can believe it, we made it through February in the first 2 months of 2021. So it's good to be here. I'm so thankful that you are here, Mallory and Paula and Michelle and Frank and Biola, all my friends. Sean, Subine, feel free to say hello. Uriel, you are not late because this is actually a 30-minute segment. So slightly shorter because we wanted to jam-pack all that 1 hour long info into 30 minutes. So we'll see how this goes, huh? Maybe we'll extend it back to an hour because there's a lot to talk about. But happy March. It is like Women's Appreciation Month too. Sorry, I don't have a slide on that. But it is Women's Month for the month of March. Spring is almost here. Let's dive into this because I'm going to talk about a number of things. We have some cool guests this week, just so you know. I'll be reviewing all of them really fast, but you could see them on your screen right here in a second as I switch over. But we have guests, some news. We'll look at some new creative, community spotlight, free stuff, questions, tips. I got a lot of stuff to cover. So let's just dive into this, right? Kimmy J Designs. Actually, she's right over here. Hi, Kimmy. So basically, she's going to be live today. It's going to be pretty awesome. She does a lot of illustration work on desktop, so it's going to be pretty amazing. She was actually just kind of live streaming randomly and was really good. And I was like, hey, team, we should get Kimmy to join us because she is so talented. So I'm really looking forward to her. Excuse me. And of course, Elise Todd as well. She's going to be doing some UX and UI work, which will be pretty awesome. That's today. And then we have Paige Tingy, does amazing photography, hosted by Paco Siller, so that'll be awesome. And then Emily Poulin, who does more graphic design work, as you can see there. And actually, let's just go and click into their work, shall we? Let's have some fun today. Hello, Audrey from Ohio. Good to have you here as well. Isn't it cold in Ohio? I don't know. But you can see Kimmy's work. Again, this is kind of one that I pulled down, right? Surviving the Apocalypse. But you see her work. So she's going to be really fun to work with. So it's going to be pretty awesome. And she has a shout out to her live stream. So Kimmy J Designs is going to be good, right? And yeah, buy her coffee through that link right there. Why not? Because she's giving of her time. Elise UX. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, by the way, but we'll find out later today. Elise? I don't know. How do we pronounce this little dash over the E? I apologize. So bad. I have one job. But she does a lot of UI, UX, and does a lot of consulting work. So it's going to be cool. I'm sure she's going to be able to tell us everything she needs to know. Paige actually is going to be up, and I kind of want to check out her work as well. You can see her awesome prints, very much like what Paco Siller does. He travels to awesome places and takes beautiful photographs, just like Paige does. So it's going to be fun. Hello, Alpesh, as well. Good to have you here. Sandy Kim Sang, welcome. Awesome. First time participating using chat. That's what we like to see. Feel free to say hello, and we want to welcome you. But you can check out and say hello to Paige as she live streams later. Actually, I apologize. She live streams on Wednesday and Thursday. So anyways, we like to highlight all of these amazing artists, including Emily Poulin, who does, of course, a lot of more graphic design type stuff. All right. You guys get the idea. Loving what's happening in here. Oh, what font is that? LustScript Pro. I love LustScript Pro because you can add extra flourishes. They're extra glyphs with that character, and has a lot of them. That's why I like using it, so you could really extend that Y out. She might have actually added that itself. I didn't know the U actually extended out like that, but that's what's being used there, and she could tell you all about it. It's going to be good. All right, Toby Shinobi's in the house. Good to see you here. Toby's an amazing photographer. He's been our guest before, and yeah, we have some things to talk about with him as well, so this will be good. Fantastic. All right, so let's dive into some news now, folks. All right, guys, just kind of keep in mind, we only keep this open for about a month, but we have the Adobe Creative Residency open. So I think it's just, it's limited in its release. So I think US and Europe, I don't know how many residents we're going to have. But feel free, just search Adobe Creative Residency. I don't want you to miss out, because typically what happens later on in the year, somebody's always like, oh, what about, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I missed the deadline. Well, I'm doing my part. But also, we not only have that, but we have a Creative Residency Community Fund. So if you have a special project you want to work on, we can fund it for you. Just these small sort of, I don't know, donations or contributions to help you work on that project and just to help designers everywhere. All right, Sandy, just so you know, you could do both. Hey, why not? Sandy, feel free. Watch the live stream. Feel free to comment in chat. I usually pull out the best of chat between breaks as I talk about this stuff, because there's more we do need to talk about. Just some little things, but we got some big stuff as well. I wanted to point out this because I was kind of curious about, you know, of course, AIGA. AIGA has, there it is, does this competition every year. They did it online this year, and I wanted to kind of just point out the winner. It's called Command X. From home, and let me just share my screen really fast. We'll kind of take a look at the winner, because I want to see what you guys think of Command X. They give a project to a number of designers. Okay, so we can go ahead and take a look at the contestants in here. You can read about all of them, right? So you have about 6 of them. They all created something based on the theme. Their theme was Zoom. So redesigning Zoom, the streaming or video meeting platform, right? And what I wanted to do is at least jump out to the winner after I mute this really fast. Again, this is only 30 minutes long, so we're going to jump to the winner, which happens to be, as you can see, right in here. Let's jump back. Audrey Hancock ended up being the winner, redesigning Zoom with these lovely millennial pink, of course, being pretty standard with the type, but being playful with the illustrations, sort of humanizing Zoom, and I think it was a good call. So now you know who won that contest, and that's the abbreviated version, and you can see some of these animated if you want to watch this live stream for what it's worth. All right. This time, Adobe Creative Residency isn't outside the US, right? I'm not 100% sure. Adobe. Let's just jump out there and see. So I would just jump in and say, learn more and apply. And here's where we'll find out. FAQs. This is where you would typically find out about the community fund, apparently. Here we go. Creative Residency. Runs May through April. Must live in the United States. Relocation for the duration of the residency will not qualify you to be eligible. So it is just U.S. only. So yeah, so that's where it's at this year. But not only that, let's not overlook the community fund, because we just like give people money to work on their passion projects. Of course, I'm just, that's not the official line, but that's what we do for the community fund. You know, marketing purposes, in-app screens, education. Again, it's pretty cool, and that's available to you. So let's move on to some more news, right? Again, just kind of highlighting some contests, just skipping to the winners because we only have 30 minutes. And I wanted to talk about this very important thing. You ready for this next one, guys? It's going to be awesome. Congratulations to Audrey, by the way. She was the youngest contestant out of those 6 people, and she won both day 1 and day 2. So it's worth checking out. It's called Command X. They do it every year. And I was just like, I just thought it was pretty awesome. And it kind of shows you kind of what's hot, and you get to see her like present it, which is, I think, what's cool about that. Okay, up next, obviously right here, NFTs, crypto art, and the new digital economy. What the heck are NFTs? What's crypto art? What is this? What is this all about? What's this new world of cryptocurrency all about? And what does it have to do with us artists, right? That's the big question, right? You guys probably heard about this, and we could talk about this stuff again all day long. Actually, I want to point out 2 instances that should get you excited if you're doing any sort of digital art, right? 2 situations, and I'm sorry I can't make these banners go away, but here I am on Reuters. How a 10-second video clip sold for 6.6 million. So you might have heard about this story. This is with Beeple. So he sold this to this Miami-based art collector for $67,000. This 10-second video artwork that he could have watched for free online, right? So he sells this, or excuse me, he buys it using cryptocurrency, right? And he's the official owner of it, right? And then he turns around and actually sells it later for, sure enough, 6.6 million. So this is just an example of a new type of digital asset known as a NFT, or non-fungible token, right? And what it does is it actually signifies him, whoever bought it now, as the owner and originator of this piece of art, and it's forever theirs, right? So here's a good example. You can go to the Louvre and you can take a picture of the Mona Lisa and you can have it there, but it doesn't have any value because it doesn't have the provenance. So there's no history behind that photo or history of the work. So that's the power of it. It's like this provenance with your crypto art. So I think that's pretty cool. So, Reverb Mike, there's a sucker born every minute. And by the way, let's approach this from the artist's work, right? We create artwork like mad. We post it to Instagram. We don't get any money for it. It's like whatever, digital. But it puts digital artwork on the same sort of playing field as traditional art. Saying, hey, you know what? You want to buy this original digital art? Well, you can now. And you officially own it. Again, the flying cat, this animated flying cat, sold for $600,000, so over $500,000, right? Isn't that crazy? This is the fast-growing market of digital art, so it's going to be awesome, right? The reason I bring this up is because I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow, so I'll just kind of switch back over. I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow about 12:30, like not actually here, so you're just going to have to watch my social media. I'm going to do it on Facebook, Creative Cloud channel, and we will actually do a longer session here on Behance if you're joining me on Behance as well, so keep that in mind. But tomorrow we're going to talk about really how to set up a lot of this stuff, and I'm actually going to be talking with the CMO of Super Rare. Super Rare is one of the places where you can actually buy this artwork. Just like you have Foundation, for instance. So let's just switch back over really fast, if I can. If my magic little button works, maybe not. Get over here. All right, here we go. Super Rare. This is where you can buy digital artwork, right? So this is just one place, and we're going to go ahead and talk about how to set this up so you could be the artist that posts this online, right? And there's a current offer by Beanie for $7,000 for this artwork, right? Somebody's gonna own this original piece and have the NFT to prove it, right? So the Nyan Cat. Thank you, Anika. I forgot the name, but check that out. Isn't that awesome? Why can't this be you, huh? What about this? Why can't this be you selling this for $3,000? Let's get kind of like paid for our work at the end of the day. And that's what Super Rare does. Others like Foundation, right? Let's go to foundation.app. Is just another, I don't know what they call themselves. I'm sure it's a marketplace for buying and exchanging artwork. So we'll go into, let's take a look at, oh yeah, Blake Catherine. Here we go. I know her. Awesome 3D artist living in LA. She's sold a couple of these. This is probably $6,000 worth, right? So she's made probably $15,000 by selling this artwork. And I want to empower you to do so, which is why I'm doing the live stream tomorrow. But isn't it exciting? So Noor, yes, if you make a GIF or GIF, if you make something and somebody is willing to pay you for it, sure, great, right? But also if you put a lot of hard work into something, right, you can sell it to somebody and you'd forever be the owner of, say, for instance, this piece. So I don't want you to think this as a scam. It's a way to track digital artwork like you've never been able to before. So you can now say, hey, this is the original piece and it's owned by this person. So it's going to be huge and I'm excited about it tomorrow. I'm going to move on because, again, that's going to be awesome. Hopefully you're all excited about this. Drake Bell bought someone's art this weekend on Clubhouse and has sold 7 pieces. Yep. So Mallory, yeah, people have been talking about it a lot on Clubhouse. So I'm glad you're kind of keeping it in mind, and it's going to be pretty cool. And it's just a new world for us as creatives, which is really exciting, huh? Aren't you guys excited? I'm so excited about this. So anyways, just follow me on the social medias, and I'm going to go live 12:30 p.m., and I'm going to talk to Zach Yangers, the CMO of Super Rare. Right? Oh, Toby, did I do a good job of explaining? Because you know what? We're going to have the CMO, Zach, like he's going to explain it much better. But check out Super Rare, check out Foundation, read their FAQ if you want to get ahead of the game. I plan on doing so. But let's dive into our next step, which is highlighting somebody from the... All right, welcome back, and I just wanted to highlight somebody very special, and she might not even be in chat, but she does watch. hopefully she's here and she says hi. But Julie or Juhi, is that how I say it? Juhi, Catherine. I want to give her a shout out because she was pretty awesome in terms of not only participating, but you know, I had some screens leak online of like some passwords and stuff, and she's been really helpful with us. So she's been watching the streams and is our helpful viewer watching in the background. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Julie, I don't know if you're here. Oh yay, she's here! Yay, Juhi, am I saying your name correctly? She's kind of from the UK, always watching, kind of not participating that much, but definitely helps out when she can, and I just appreciate you, and that's all. So thank you so much, Dewey. You're awesome. All right. Thank you, Dewey. I appreciate you. She saved me from losing all my stuff, basically. I'm not going to lie. Congrats. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on, folks. I've been keeping this long list of free stuff, right? We know we can go to all these sites and get free graphics and different things. And Toby, stick around, by the way. I'm going to talk about Toby's stuff. But I'm going to get to this really fast. Portfolio, Adobe Portfolio. You get 5 free sites with Adobe Portfolio. And people don't know it. People don't know it's 5 sites. But again, you can go to Behance, right? You go to your profile. Let me actually switch screens. That would probably help out a ton. You go to your profile, and right over here, it would say sort of create an Adobe portfolio or edit if you've already made one. So check that out. Click right there. You can see I have a couple, like this one's just an example. And here's one that I've actually tied a URL to, right? But you can make up to 5. So I still have 2 more buckets that I can go ahead and use. So right in here, we can take a look at this edited site, or we can just view the live site. But it's pretty awesome what you can do. and what you can create. But you can see again, sort of creating that website, highlighting your work, because if you want to get your stuff on Super Rare or Foundation or get that job or anything like that, you got to showcase your work. And this enables you to do that, to create that portfolio that's nice and clean and doesn't look like a template or anything, because you can modify it all day long. As I jump in here, you can see all the modifications you can do. Cool. All right, yeah, you get 5. You got it. Let's move on. I got to talk about Toby's work. Let's talk about what we can do for the community, answering questions. So feel free. You can go to community.adobe.com. A lot of those gets answered through Discord, also through, I don't know why this graphic keeps getting small, but you could send me any questions that you have. And that's why I'm glad Toby is here, because he asked about this the other day. He's like, hey, how can I animate content if I'm a photographer, right? So if I am making a photograph, how can I animate it and what should I use? Which I thought was like a fantastic question, which is why we're going to open up some of Toby's work and we're going to knock it out really fast, animating sort of from picture to full motion. Why would we do that? Because we know we're going to get more eyeballs if we, there's typically more engagement when it comes to video. But here's one of his pieces that he sent to me. Thank you, so kind, Toby. There's also this one as well, right? We could take a look at this, and some images just like beg for motion, right? We just have a couple in here. There's this one, and then even this one. So we could think about what we could do with these, right? There we go. This one's really cool. If you have an opportunity to take a photo with the lights off and then lights on, you can think about animating those. But I thought we'd start with a couple of these. And even the second one really is crying out to be animated too. So let's do that. You could do that in Photoshop, right? So we could jump in here, disregard that. Let's just double click on it actually. Here it is. You could use the timeline panel. So help me, everyone. I'm going so fast. Timeline, there we are. Here's our timeline. We can create a video timeline with a click right there. We could have a new background back there that's just filled with black, right? And we have layer 1 and layer 0. So our layer 0, which is actually our photograph, right? We can adjust the opacity, right? So right in here, let's extend this out. We didn't need to extend it out that far. I didn't realize that's, we could do like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever I want. Just be mindful of this playhead, right? Because this is the length of your animation. So here you have opacity. Click right there. It's going to be 100% wherever I set that keyframe. And then down here at the beginning, I can take the opacity right over here down to 0. Watch what happens when I take that down to 0, right? It adds that keyframe. So it goes from 0 to 100, and then we just have that fading in. It's pretty straightforward. Cool. I would do this in After Effects, right? You know how to do it in Photoshop, right? We get it. Do this in After Effects, folks. Go into After Effects. Right here I have sunrise. Let's actually maybe turn off some of these others, because I was actually playing with this morning already. Right here it is. Use all these fun, say, color corrections. So you can say, hey, you know what? Let's work with the color balance, and we can animate the color balance over time, right? So we could see the color balance right here. We could see it down here, right? We could twirl this down, and here we have the same keyframe. So we could say, hey, you know what? I usually click on these little stopwatches because I always want it to end up at its original position. But then I'll come down here and I'll take the lightness down. So I've just brought up the lightness, but also I can change the hue as well. So I'll just rotate this. I'll have it start with like a blue, right? So it starts with the blue, and then we'll start to cycle through ultimately to that yellow, right? So that's how you want to use After Effects. And the next step, by the way, sunrise, sunset, we can make the sun move, right? That means cutting it out. I encourage you to cut things up in layers, right? So here we have this same PSD, and I'm sorry I'm going so fast. Let's get rid of that. But here's a PSD that just has like everything kind of in these different, on these different layers. Because I'm like, hey, it would be kind of cool if that ice kind of moves, slowly floats, right? So we cut it up into layers, and then we have the bridge on top. Sure enough, we cut it up into layers. Here we have the bridge on top, and then all these other little guys. So what do we do? In this case, we animate the position, right? So let's take this ice patch, for instance. This lovely little ice patch, which, again, I'll move it. Here it is, right? And I would typically get rid of the one underneath. I get it. I need to do that. But I'd move it over here. I would adjust the rotation of it, right, like that. And I'm always mindful of where my playhead is, because that's where those new keyframes will get created. We'll hit enter, and we can just see that move slightly. It's really subtle, and most people aren't noticing it. Anyways, that was your crash course in After Effects for photographers, for Toby, right? Whether you want to move things like I'm doing now or shift colors, the options are limitless. Ultimately, I'd say, hey, use After Effects because it's going to give you the most flexibility, okay? Of course, we have Evan Abrams, who's fantastic for After Effects and can help out a lot. But I'm sure one of these days, I'm sure I'll have a design masterclass where probably not this weekend, next Friday, I'll do a design masterclass on motion. Would be a lot of fun. Right, so there we go. There we have, right, there we go. So we have our movement, and then we have our other one, our sunrise. Again, was just done really quick. We would shift this moving up, all that fun stuff. But thanks so much, guys. That's it for me. A lot to cover in only 30 minutes, but hopefully you appreciated this. Join me tomorrow for my NFT live stream. Appreciate you guys. Stick around. We got more coming up. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate you. See ya.